I made an explosive bat to hit record distance baseballs, but all I can think about is what would happen if it hit my face. I think it'd be pretty bad. But this is not the only question that I have. What if I converted it into a golf club? Could I outdrive a pro or maybe even hit a distance record? Or what if I attached an axe head to it? Would that be as unnecessarily awesome as it sounds? If you haven't seen the video on making and testing this bat, I'll put a link here. So this bat is full of mysteries, and I think it's about time that we crushed them. Welcome to our Value Brand Engineering Mystery Show. We have a bat that is full of mysteries that just need to be solved. You've seen me load this bat, right? It's freaky. Imagine that I'm loading it like an idiot.
I can imagine that.
So I put 4 shells in and then I shove it down like one of those Acme Dynamite boxes and then it just blows.
I don't think you'd have any hands left.
Like a bone, like the chicken drumstick end or something. That's horrifying. I want to know just how bad it would be.
Well, I think it should be pretty easy to test. You just need to find some stuff that's squishy like a human.
You calling me squishy?
No.
We've raided the pantry and we found lots of squishy biological things that are kind of like humans in a way.
Time to crunch some mysteries. So the apple is mostly water and it has a skin. It's basically him.
So I thought, oh, an apple, that's a nice easy warm up. We'll get to see some destruction. No. I felt like I was in an infinite loop trying to make this bat fire with an apple. Come on, come on. So there seems to be 2 really important things for setting off the bat. The apple is lighter than the baseball, not a ton, but it's lighter. Having enough mass to push the piston in, we think that that's part of why the apple's having a hard time setting the system off. The other thing is how hard it is. As the piston compresses and then hits the shells, when the piston stops, it's kind of like the baseball hitting a wall. So you get a nice kick. When you feel an apple, it's pretty hard, but the bat hits it so hard, the apple just immediately caves in and starts to turn into applesauce. It means the apple is a lot softer when it bottoms out. It's like trying to stop applesauce. There's no kick. I made a bunch of small changes to the system to make it lighter and smoother and less friction, and I seem to just barely be able to hit an apple now. Yes! Finally! Oh man, that made a mess. It does not want to fire.
If it doesn't fire easily, does that mean it's safe?
I don't think so. Look at this. It's crazy. This is the fastest way I could get something that is sort of like a hand. I've been trying to find a way to trigger the bat with the bananas because the idea isn't that the bat hits my hand like a baseball, it's that it goes off when I'm pushing it down. So what I came up with is I'm gonna yank on it with a string. When it goes off, it'll just immediately break the string. The vast majority of the energy will go into the bananas. 3, 2, 1. So if your hands are made of bananas, I think it's fair to say you don't want to get them hit by this bat.
Definitely not.
Can you believe this guy? He puts drop cloths everywhere except the spot that the banana is guaranteed to go.
I thought about it, I just was thinking, how bad could it be? Pretty bad is the answer.
We're gonna test some more stuff to see if anything interesting comes out.
I think you just want to hit stuff with the bat.
No, I don't. It's not even fun. It's for science.
Don't forget humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sure.
You know, I think he was right.
Left. So this is a bit closer in size and weight to my head.
And it's white.
That is also true. So this bat is
lethal.
That's so scary.
Yeah, if your body is frail like a piece of fruit, you don't want to come anywhere near this thing.
Keep it away from nursing homes, for sure. My hand is obviously a lot tougher than a banana.
Right, that's why it's always covered in Band-Aids, huh?
I didn't say it's bulletproof. I think it's time to make a more realistic hand, so I'm gonna go try to find a hand skeleton model or something like that. We can cast ballistic gel around it and then hit that.
Yeah, that seems more realistic.
Yeah, it'll be cool looking, I know that.
It's your birthday. You just watched Home Improvement and realize you need more power. You reach for the Binford 6100 Pinata Wrecker. Although what wife doesn't know is that she's in for a bit of a surprise.
What is all this?
It's 2020 candy. Circus peanuts, Necco wafers, wax soda bottles. It's the worst candy in the world. The piston goes fully into his butt before the pinata ever moves.
He's like, oh, I better get a move up.
I'm out of here. Oh,
Yo!
Don't try this at home. This is a bad idea.
Don't do it.
This is not actually fun. We're just pretending.
It's not fun. So what's next? And why are you eating that?
These are awful. This is literally wax.
So why are you eating it?
Look at that.
Ew.
Ugh. We should hit one of these with the bat. It's like a finger. I think it's time to do the axe.
He's been talking about this for weeks.
Yeah, because it's the most amazing thing ever.
Amazing? That sounds like a terrible idea.
I mean, yeah, just think about it. You could slice a baseball in half. You could one-hit KO a tree.
Okay, actually, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
So how do you make an axe bat? Well, when a bat loves an axe very much, they come together, and half of the axe is combined with half of the bat, and you get a beautiful little axe bat.
How far do you think it's gonna go into a ball? A third of the way? I'm thinking it's gonna go like an inch.
It looks like he's having a difficult time firing this axe. If he keeps this up, the channel should be named Nothing Made Here, am I right?
We think the reason that it won't fire is really similar to the apple. Adding the axe head to the bat made the piston assembly much heavier. And when the ball hits it, it accelerates a lot slower than it would without the axe. It seems to be different enough to just not set off the charges no matter what we do. It took an enormous amount of fine tuning and changing out some parts, as well as dealing with some other issues. We finally got it to fire one shell.
Doesn't look like it really did anything.
Nah, there's a whole lot going on there.
Lame.
I mean, it is really lame.
Yeah.
It did something.
There's a small slice.
Barely even sliced through the cover. This bat supports up to 4 shells. I think I know the answer, which is more power.
Ugh.
We just went through exactly the same thing trying to fire 2 shells as we did 1 shell. I lightweighted the axe, I rebuilt the firing mechanism, I've tweaked this thing to death. I cannot get it to fire with 2 rounds. So I'm gonna make a little change that I think will make it fire a lot better. So I put this piece of wood here so that the bat has something to push against.
That's cheating.
It's not cheating, it's how we make it work. Hopefully will let us set off 2 rounds, and then it'll also keep the ball from getting launched, and I think we'll get a much better slicing action. I should have just done this from the beginning. I avoided it because I kind of thought it was cheating too, but the rules are made up and none of it matters.
That's really fast.
Ching! Like a guillotine. I wish it would have gone all the way through, but
Yeah.
I don't think it can. The blade isn't long enough.
Oh, there goes the stop rod screw.
Oh, and the stop rod too. We'll have to inspect the bat. It looks like we broke a bunch of stuff though. We got 1 good hit. What seems to have happened the second the axe hit the ball is that the bat let out a small inaudible whimper and then immediately broke. It bent the entire piston assembly and semi-stripped the bolts. I'm glad it didn't go flying off. I also messed up the firing pin assembly. I'm gonna have to take a rain check on hitting a tree, sadly. Let me know if you think that's worth doing. If there's enough interest, might come back and do it. So, I mean, what do you think? Does the bat make a good axe?
I'd say that mystery's crunched.
That means it's bad?
Yeah.
So the axe I built totally sucked. It wouldn't fire without a lot of help, but I don't think that's fundamental. I think if you pitched the ball at it, it actually would set off pretty reliably.
Yeah, if you did that and had a longer blade, I think it would just fruit ninja right through the baseball.
Which would be awesome. My brain is telling me that I've had enough axe bat for a lifetime, but my heart is saying it needs to see a ball fruit ninja'd.
We can just put a pin in it and call it plausible for now.
Okay, fine. All right, hand stuff's here.
You realize it's a right hand and a left hand mold.
No. Why do hot dogs and buns come with different counts? Who makes these things? I actually think you'll be able to shove it in here upside down, and I don't think you'll even be able to tell.
Yeah, sure. You can't tell at all. The gang wrecked some food, but now it's time to really put the bat to the test with a realistic hand analog. They've cast a creepy hand from a hand skeleton and gelatin mix to mimic human flesh.
So the bones are plastic, there's no tendons, there's no skin, but it's better than a banana. I'm so curious to see how much damage this thing does. It's like shooting your hand with the energy of 4 guns at the same time.
And a giant bullet.
Yeah, it's huge. 4 guns with 2 barrels and 1 big bullet. The math doesn't exactly work out, but it is what it is. Except the gun part, it's a bat. 3, 2, 1.
Whoa!
Are you tired of leaving the house to
What is
exercise
this
your
crap?
dog?
Introducing Dogcercise. Give your dog the body they've always dreamed of. You'll get fit. Your spouse will get fit.
Order it now, or the dog gets it.
I can't decide how this hand should be hit. I'm gonna err on the side of maximum carnage. 3, 2, 1.
Hey buddy, you forgot your finger.
This is why the safety boy exists.
Ouch. Do you think your hand can really do that? Looks like something our dog would hack up.
Or you. Oh, you want a finger? So this hand is still not quite as tough as my hands, but I think I have a pretty good idea of what would happen if I set it off on my hands. Would it totally wreck your hands, and how bad?
Confirmed.
Yes.
It'll wreck your hands. I think there's a chance they'd just be gone like I guessed.
Yeah, I agree. It's really not good for your health.
We should try to hit a golf ball. I mean, it's basically already a golf club.
I'm so into this idea. How far do you think it would go?
I think what would be a good hit for a professional golfer. Not like a record, but a good hit.
I tried to calculate this and I just have no idea. I'm gonna say 250. I just think we have to do it.
Let's find out.
Simply replace the bat face with a golf club face. Give it a compact muffler, and replace the bat handle with a golf club handle.
Yeah, what do you think about this club?
Looks like a submarine.
Submarine sandwich or a...
Both.
I don't know what's gonna happen, and I don't wanna swing it until I've tested it. So I'm gonna take the hitting end of the golf club and put it back on the bat, and then I can try to hit golf balls with the bat on the bat swinger. I should title this video, Magic Bat Will Only Fire If It's a Baseball. I tried all the tricks in the book. I can only get it to fire if I hit something else along with the ball, like the top of the tee.
We think the main problem is that the bat is too squishy and the ball is too springy. Nerds like my husband call this an impedance mismatch.
Sure do, and I'm proud of it. Because the piston wants to squish slowly and the ball wants to bounce quickly, the ball bounces away before the piston even really starts moving, and you get terrible energy transfer. In other words, no boom. If you want to understand the impedance mismatch better, check out the video Dustin from Smart Everyday made about the explosive bat. It goes more in depth into what's going on and is really good. I think it's time for me to do some hardcore engineering and fine tune the interface to get the impedance that I want.
He's gonna put tape on the club.
Still counts. The rubber tape I'm using is a nicely damping foam. The hope is that it'll keep the ball from bouncing away and also transfer more of the energy from the ball into the piston, kind of like a dead blow hammer. It's a little better, but still won't fire without help. Man, it's just not really doing what I was hoping it would do.
I think you just have to do it the right way.
Doing things the right way is just the worst. So I have an idea for a pretty big change to the club that I think would deal with all the known issues. The ball being too light, the ball bouncing way too fast, and one that we haven't really talked about, which is that if the club hits the ground before it hits the ball, it will fire. Who knows what will happen? It'll probably break the club, it'll launch the club backwards, really bad. So my idea is to make the firing pins float. It'll be super light, so the ball should have no problem crushing the primers, and it won't be able to bounce away before they fire. And then because the bottom edge can't set the club off, when I dig it into the ground, it won't fire.
Fabrication is business as usual, except he's noticeably more grouchy since he has to do it the right way.
Finally, I designed something and it works on the first try. What do you think the odds are that someone will let me hit this at their driving range? Well, the reason I was calling ahead is it's pretty loud.
So what? It's just a golf club, though.
It uses special charges. It can be...
Charges? What do you mean charges?
I mean, they're...
Like a gun or something, or what?
No, not really. It's more like a special nail gun.
Don't you want a shooting range?
It's not a gun. All right, well, I understand.
Yeah, it's probably the wrong place, buddy.
Yeah,
Well, that was a fail.
that was a no. I mean, it is scary, but it's not scary, you know? You don't put your hand in front of a golf club either, so it's basically the same thing.
true.
Let's try someone else. And so I was wondering if we'd be able to come by your range sometime and hit a few balls and just see how far they go.
Yeah, I think that would be interesting. Sure.
The one thing is that it is kind of loud.
Yeah, I mean, if it's after hours, I think that'd be fine.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Sure.
I can't believe they're letting them do this. I definitely wouldn't.
Here's a baseline with no shells. It's pitiful. It took me more tries than I care to admit to hit the sweet spot, but when I did, wow. I could see them going over the trees by eye. Even with yellow balls and my sharpest lens, I just lose them into the haze. This is the most contrast I was able to get. There we go. It's just gone. It's a good thing I came after hours because I eventually blew a seal, and you know what that sounds like.
Alright, it's a special club.
And a huge thanks to the Falls Village Golf Club for taking a chance on me. I can tell you from experience that most golf courses are not this accommodating. If you're a golfer in the Triangle area, check them out.
So you did all the hitting on this. Would you say it's a good golf club?
As a golf club, it's terrible. It's just...
It's a bit awkward.
It's just so heavy. I don't want a golfer to even hold this because they're just going to make fun of me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you don't know anything about golf. Yeah, I know, but I know about engineering. When it connects with the ball, it turns me into Happy Gilmore. It hits the ball so well, it can't help but be a good club.
So that sounds confirmed.
If it were refined and lightened a little bit, you'd be the long drive champ. The thing that's bugging me, I'd like an actual number. I want more sig figs than really far. A golf radar would be perfect, but Yeah. So if anyone knows where I could get access to a golf radar, just let me know. So I've got all of this extra ballistic gel.
Wow.
Which
Why did you make so much?
I think we should get a skull and cast it in this gel and then hit it with the axe.
That's horrifying.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't really think about it very hard. Yeah, who would do that? That's messed up. I don't know, I just overestimated, I guess. So we know that getting hit by the bat is really bad. It's life-changing.
Life-ending, potentially.
Probably, if you get hit right. What we're wondering now is, what if you get hit by a ball that got hit by the bat?
Yeah, it seems more likely to get hit by the ball. Just think about the poor pitcher.
Rest in peace. So we're gonna do this slightly unrealistic, but worst case situation of a pitcher getting hit at point blank range with a baseball. What do you think is gonna happen?
I think it's gonna go through it.
Straight through?
Yeah.
So you think the ball will just go straight through the pitcher?
Wow.
I think it's gonna bounce off, and if it does, hit me in the face or break a window. I hope it goes through. That would be really cool. I don't know if you can hear that, but it doesn't sound exactly natural. Here it comes. Oh.
It's a cake.
So there's some risk of a ricochet off the gel. So I've got the bulletproof vest on underneath. Here's a baseline with just the bat. Not that exciting. Let's see how one shell compares.
But let's take a look at the videotape.
Videotape? This ain't no tape. Ow. That would hurt.
Apparently I didn't like the taste.
Get that ball out of my mouth.
It looks like I was right, huh?
You said it was gonna go straight through. It was closer to not going in at all than going straight through.
Oh, I thought we were doing a over-under. It goes through it all or it bounces right off.
Everything beyond a bounce off, that ain't fair. We gotta write a contract next time.
You have to do 3 shells.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Oof. Clean up on aisle 4. That's really cool.
You would not want to get hit by this baseball. Man,
Yeah.
that's a lot worse than I was expecting.
You thought it would bounce right off.
Well, I don't know. I'm pretty confident in saying the bat is deadly.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
It's like getting hit by a cannonball or something. I think this just might be my greatest creation.
You know we have a daughter.
And I think there's still a lot of potential left. So if you have ideas on modifications or things that I should hit with it, let me know. I'd love to try. It's a lot of fun, except it's not. Don't do it. The thing highest up on my list is fixing the axe so that I can try to one-hit KO a small tree. You should stick around for the sponsor. We had a bit more fun with the bat. It's worth your while. If you think I earned it and you enjoyed this video, you should consider subscribing. It helps me out a lot and it'll keep you in the loop when I publish new stuff. If you'd like to support my videos directly, check out my Patreon. The final way you can help out is by checking out any sponsors. Thanks. I promise this will make sense in a second. I'm about to tell you about this video's sponsor, Keeps. So why am I talking about hair loss? I mean, if anything, I need a haircut. I know several guys who are dealing with hair loss, and it's a huge deal. The emotional toll that it puts guys through is really bad. And yes, men have emotions. So I looked into the research behind Keeps. As best I can tell, it's the real deal. There's only 2 FDA-approved hair loss treatments, and Keeps is low-cost generic versions of both of those. And I believe this has the potential to improve the hair loss situation for a lot of people. And that's a good thing for humanity. And when I say a lot of people, I mean it. 2 out of 3 men will have some form of male pattern baldness by the time they're 35, which is just crazy high. So to try to illustrate this point better, I made the hair lottery. You and I are represented by these ball bearings going through the Plinko board called life. And I have 3 men, and we're gonna see how fate judges them. All right, how does it play out for gentleman number 1? Baldness. So not surprising though, remember 2 out of 3. This hurts me more than it hurts you. Oh. So this isn't how hair loss traditionally works, but I think it illustrates the point pretty well. So he could try to use Keeps, but it wouldn't do anything for him because it's only effective when you still have hair. All right, let's see how the second man does. I guess he's the 1 out of 3. All right, time for man number 3. This is my stunt double. You can probably see the resemblance. He's really smart and uses Keeps. You can see how it's defending him from going bald. But that's no fun. We want to know what would have happened if he hadn't used Keeps. All right, I think they call this double jeopardy. Baldness. And that's no surprise because it's 2 out of 3. I hope you'll excuse me for having a little bit of fun here. I know baldness is a really serious issue for a lot of people, but if you are worried about hair loss, you should check out Keeps. It might be what you're looking for. They have online doctor consults, which are really easy, and they deliver it directly to your door every 3 months. If you're ready to do something to prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/StuffMadeHere or click on the link in the description to get 50% off your first order. That's KEEPS.com/StuffMadeHere.